What is up, everybody? MTG Dad back for another one. Today we're going to be looking at a Sabine Red deck that I've been working on. I started focusing on this a little bit more a couple weeks ago, and then I saw that someone had won a tournament at their locals with a similar deck. So I wanted to kind of give it a little more attention. Um, the biggest thing that I wanted to try out was Rallying Cry. I tried it out early on in a Leia build, and it felt pretty good, but I wanted to give it a shot in more of a just mono red version where it's only going to cost me 3. So in the Leia build, it cost 5, and it was good as a top end. And I played a lot of like cheap units, but kind of got away from it after a while after I'd played Leia some more. But I wanted to give it a shot in this deck just to see if it can be competitive. And then I wanted to try out aggression. In the guy who had won his locals, I think he was playing 3 aggression, so I feel like 2 is enough when you're playing an aggro deck. Being able to ready another unit's cool, and draw a card, and then sometimes deal 4 damage to a unit. And then we're playing 2 Dodonna, so otherwise it's like a pretty standard aggro list. It does have a little bit more 1-drops to benefit, so Rallying the Cry can benefit. So we have 3 Spec Soldiers, 3 Benthics, and 2 R2-D2. And then you have your typical 3 Green A-Wing, 3 Sabine, 3 Alliance, 2 Rebel Pathfinder, and then 3 Fighter, 3 Red 3, 3 for a Cause I Believe in. You know, it gets pretty standard after that. 3 Fleet Lieutenant, 3 Wing Leader, 3 K2SO. The biggest difference in this is there's no Guerilla Attack Pod. And that is, here's my other list. So he was playing Rebel Assault in the sideboard, which I totally could, it makes sense in certain matchups. As you take it out for aggression probably, so you can put it in. It costs the same. So but I just want to see how it compares to the version without, or you know, this version compares to the Guerilla Attack Pod version. So this is the version that I think is probably better. And I'll probably, I'm not going to compare the two, but obviously Guerilla Attack Pod is just a very good card in aggro. It's kind of like a unit that kind of does what For a Cause I Believe in does, and just kind of gets you over the top. Fighters for Freedom is really good in this particular deck because there's more red units. In early testing, I did have even more. I had like Cantina and Partisan and stuff like that, but they just weren't strong enough unless they were attacking. So like if an opponent was a good player, they're just going to attack into those units and kill them. Like Cantina, especially because it's 0 power, and then Partisan only has 1 power, has 4 toughness, but so I'm not doing a lot of damage back to them. So sideboard is 2 Precision Fire to give units Saboteur if they have a lot of Sentinels. My opponent. Wolf is, of course, for decks that have life gain and control, and Disabling Fangfighter is for decks like Luke and other decks that have a lot of shields and upgrades. It's also a good sideboard against like Boba, I think, just to have more units in space. The idea behind playing a deck like this is like, I would assume in most cases it's going to do very well against like control, because you're just going to put too much pressure on them for them to deal with it, and that's the idea. I'm not sure if Rallying Cry makes a lot of sense in that case. So the way I look at Rallying Cry is it's like another version of Red 3. Like Red 3 is like an earlier version that you get down that gives everything Raid 1. Rallying Cry, like ideally you're going to play it on like turn 4 or 5 when you have like 5 or 6 resources, because you want to have like at the very least like 3 units down. And so it might be one of those cards that gets better in the next set if we have stronger, cheaper units, like more units that are kind of like Spec Force Soldier that are 2/2s, or even Benthic, because being able to like pump everything up, if you have a bunch of 2/2s on the ground that are all 1 resource, and then everything gets pumped up for +2. That's a lot of damage. Like, so if you think about it, like if you have a bunch of 1 resource units, you play Spec Force Soldier and Benthic on turn 1. Turn 2, you play 3 more 1 resource units. Turn 3, you have 5 units on the board already, and then you play Rallying Cry. So like you're almost winning the game, if not winning the game already on turn 3, because you're swinging for 10 extra damage, which is crazy. So that's where Rallying Cry can really get strong. So I don't know if it's ready, if we're ready for it with the cards we have in the current game, but by July, this is a card that I would imagine you need to pay attention to, because if there's a lot of cheap units that make aggro even better, then giving everything on the board raid 2 is crazy. So we are also going to do a few games on Karabast, which is a client that people have been using to play against real people. It definitely has some glitches and some bugs, but and it's not as aesthetically pleasing as Force Table, but you know, it's really nice to play against people. It helps you to actually get more of an idea of what these decks feel like. So we will definitely be doing a couple games on there, and then some more games on Force Table, just to mainly because of the aesthetics. It's just hard to tell everything that's going on in Karabast, and it's a little bit glitchy. So, but let's get into some games with this red deck and see how it does. Okay, testing out a just mono red Sabine deck here on this this new server Karabast.net. Now I know it's pretty new, so there might be some glitches and things that don't make sense, but let's just test it out and see. So I wanted to test out this deck because it did well at a recent tournament. Now and it makes a lot of sense because it's just, you know, you get to play aggression. So I'm trying out a version where instead of Dodonna, play the Cry. So we're gonna get rid of 1 fleet. I mean, I kind of am thinking I just want to go like full red. Benthic. Because I mean, we're gonna go. Well, we could play Benthic on. Benthic is so good for what this deck does. We're playing against an aggro deck as well, right? Yeah. I think we'll just let Benthic go. How much life did they have? I mean, he's already got the initiative, right? So one thing I'm thinking about is how much do I care about Tarkentown? So one thing I've noticed about this, so it's a little... What just happened? Player 1 claimed initiative, okay. I thought I already did action. Okay. So here we're getting rid of Alliance for sure. K2SO is way too good. I think we're probably just gonna play... What now? Did he do a damage to it? I guess? I don't know. I don't know what just happened. Or we just do Fighters for Freedom here. Either one's doing the same thing, except we can play K2SO and get another damage. So I think we're just gonna go raid for now, just to get into the air. Okay, what is that saying? I really don't know what just happened. He did a damage to it and killed Sabine. Okay. We can't Tarkin town. Okay, we can Tarkin town. Not deploy yet. Okay, getting rid of red, I think. Because K2SO is just really good. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to deploy this. Try to get in with for 3 damage with it. Four damage, I'm sorry. Yeah, they need to work on this a little bit, but it's sweet to be able to play against another person, but sometimes I don't even see like an action happening. So he's taken 9, we've taken 8. Difference is he has 5 more life than us. Okay. And we're gonna play, let's see, with 5 resources, probably playing Fleet Lieutenant Sabine here. Or actually Fighters for Freedom. So I don't think we need second K2SO. Seven Sister. I mean, what ability is he resolving? It's so confusing. Just gonna go phase. Okay, he killed Sabine. Yeah, so next turn we're just... I mean, Rogue Squadron's a good card to play. If we don't get enough damage here... either way, we're not playing Benthic at this point. Play Reach, so... thing ever. So he killed the red 3. Oh no, I'm sorry, he took the red 3, okay. Which is fine. But either way, we're playing Fleet here. So it's down to 2 life. Okay. And then we play Heroic Sacrifice. and we go to the command center. So yeah, so that one went pretty smooth. We out aggroed them pretty hard. It was nice to play against people. Obviously, it's not the most ideal situation yet. It's hard to tell what's going on. There's no animations. There's no, visuals that let you know that something happened, which would be nice. Like, so they got to work on that. But it was either way, it was sweet to play. Okay, playing against Grand Admiral Cunning. So this should be interesting. I don't know about this. And we'll try it. Waiting on the other player to resource here. Okay, I think we're gonna resource these two. I think we're just trying to get as many units on the board against a Cunning deck. Oof. Well, that's not the greatest, is it? Okay. We lose Benthic right away. Most likely. Okay, cool. Oof, Boba. Okay, pass on that. Aggression. Deal 4 damage to a unit. Doesn't feel bad. Dodonna feels pretty good too. We're getting rid of that. Let's play Dodonna. See what happens. Okay. Exhausted our raid. Deal damage. Okay. So what's happening here? Yep. Okay. Hopefully we find a 2-drop here, so we can play for a cause I believe in a 2-drop. Well, I don't think we need 2 of those. Wing Leader's pretty good. To make Sabine 5. Okay. Revealed K2SO's counterpart and exhausted Sabine. Okay. We're just going face. He swung in at Sabine. I traded, okay. It's fine. Okay. So if we get a 3-drop here, we might do 4 cause. And the 3-drop, we played another Boba, okay. We got K2SO and R2D2. I think R2 is probably going to sit this one out. Gonna go face for 5. Dodonna. Cunning is a very good card. So he does what? Sends back. Oh, he's doing +4 on his Boba. Okay. You just do Guerilla Pod, I think. Yeah. So we can get him for some damage here. Keep the pressure on. He goes face, we're up to 16 damage. Okay. He traded, which I am fine with that trade all day. We're just gonna claim the initiative. I think that's more important against a Cunning deck than getting in for 1 extra damage. Red and Thrawn. Okay. Exhaust the units, same, okay. Sorry, oh, he swung with those 2, okay. We already have a red 3 out there, so I think that's gonna go for now. Okay, so we can go, I think we're just going face first with the Dodonna. Keep the pressure on. Yeah, Dodonna is really nice as red 3, swinging it for 5 damage. Okay. Which unit is he exhausted? Red 3, okay. So we'll go here, face first, before we do anything else. And then we're gonna play... see what he does. Might just play for a cause and hope to get lucky and get 4 damage. Yeah, the thing is we play out more red cards in this deck, so... let's go... Sabine's ability to play for a cause and win. Okay. Take the change in a lot of sense. Felt good against the deck that's trying to exhaust this. I like the 30 health, and really was huge. Like he had to take that out. So, put him in a position where if he didn't take it out, we were just going to win the next turn, no matter what. So, Guerilla Attack Pod is amazing. Okay, so here we are against Boba Green with the updated list that I just did. So, you know, I would imagine Boba is one of the definitely on the tougher side of matchups because we're designed to beat control. Like we're going wide, we're getting in for a ton of damage quickly. No, we'll stick with this. Partisan is a 3/4 on the ground. I'm never getting Green Squadron early in the game. For a Cause is a great finisher, so we're probably going Green Squadron here. Into Fleet Lieutenant, into K2SO. Okay. Against Boba, like, you want to always play as many units in the air as possible. So we'll get in for 5 here. I'm definitely going to action ability while we have the opportunity to. Waylay the Green Squadron, okay. Oof. Okay, Benthic Medal Ceremony. Green Squadron, Benthic? Sabine, Benthic? I kind of want to play Green Squadron again. But K2SO is really good too. I could just play Green Squadron, Sabine here. And then, yeah, that way we're like going extremely wide, which is always good against Boba. And we're going 1 in the air. Okay, so they're playing Boba this turn. They're playing Boba. Okay, there he is. D1 damage to each base. Alright. But the fact that they didn't I think we take advantage of the medal ceremony here and just get in for as much damage as we can next turn. So obviously, okay, that's a really good card and that's a really good card. Ooh, these are tough. I think we can pretty much each friendly unit gets raid. I mean, that feels so amazing right now. Honestly think it's K2SO. Just because For a Cause has reach. Okay, that's a pretty strong hit. Play the raid here. Just to give everything +1. Feels pretty good. Ouch. Okay, that does stink. But it's gonna be close. I think we got it though. Barely. Yeah. But I mean that's how that matchup goes. You're just racing. You're just racing. So this is where my thinking is of like, do I play Tarkintown here? Because my advantage is I don't care about their units. I don't care at all about their units. Like very rarely am I gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get that. I mean, if they play Sentinels, that's where it could potentially be useful, right? That's the thing that you're like, okay. But I mean, why not just play 30 HP? So it means that it's harder to kill me if you're an aggro deck. Most aggro decks are gonna be playing ECL. So it gives me a slight edge of HP against aggro decks. And I'm pretty aggressive. Like, I got Raid, I have Heroic Sacrifice, I have For a Cause I believe in. I have Rallying the Cry or Dodonna as my options for pumping all my units. I go wide. So, like, I don't know. That's kind of my thinking. So, let's kind of keep testing it out and see how it feels. But for me, the only 25 HP base that I love to play is this card. Otherwise, this card's not that strong. It's okay, sure. In specific situations, it can be very good, absolutely. But for a deck like this, I'd rather just have that cushion. Just to, because most of the meta is aggro. You're either playing Boba Fett or Sabine. That's like, what, 50% of the meta? Then you're playing Control, which Control we ideally should have a good matchup against because we're going wide and we're super aggressive. So those two decks, though, they both play ECL. So like if I'm trying to figure out a way to to beat them instead of just racing and who gets lucky and who gets the right cards every matchup, so it's like a coin flip, I'd rather have subtle things built into my deck, especially in a deck like this that doesn't have Sentinels, which is one of the advantages of Sabine Green. So up against aggro here, so we basically want to go as wide as possible, right? So rallying the cry is not going to be, I mean, it's going to be good under the right circumstances, but we'd have to be extremely wide. So how do we go wide here? I mean, reach is good with fighters, but right now we're setting ourselves up. Green Squadron getting killed, Fighters for Freedom getting killed, unless we get a 2-drop next turn. I don't think we want to sacrifice ourselves too much either until the end of the game. For a Cause is good, but I think we just want as many units as possible against them. So, I mean, the good thing about this card is in the air, so their Force Choke can't kill it. No, I'm gonna let them ping my base. I don't really care about that. Okay, so this is good. So okay, let's do this. We're gonna take a risk. We're gonna play fighters this turn. First we gotta attack. Okay, they're attacking in, which is fine. We want to try to keep fighters alive for a turn. Okay, we're trying to hold on to the initiative as much as possible. Okay, another fighters is good. All these cards are good. Metal Stemron is not bad either. Double fighters feels pretty good. They don't have, well, they do have Chilton, so they could have a Sentinel this turn. Cantina just gets waxed, so probably just pass on that card. Okay, so first thing we do is attack with the wing, because they can kill it pretty quickly here. Alright, we attack with fighters. Yeah, I mean, they have the ideal cards right now for this matchup. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. And people say that fighters is not good. Get our damage in, speed this up. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna get the initiative this turn. Okay. I think we're just sitting tight right here. So we're representing what? 4, 7, 9, 13 damage. So Heroic Sacrifice is actually pretty sweet. So actually what we do first is we play for a Cause I Believe in, so we can get the ping from both of the fighters. Top 4 cards. Okay, I like red 3. I don't think we want Cantina. I think that's good. And then we'll put red 3 at the top. Yeah. Nice, right? Double fighters is so sweet. Okay, I think we'll lose the 2. So how much damage are we representing here? 4, 7, 11. So we have lethal. So if we play Heroic Sacrifice right here, we get 6, 8 damage off of 1 unit. I actually think that we wait though and just go face and just save that for Sabine. Okay, they did not kill us. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we just have it with Sabine. We don't even need to do all that. But let's just play Heroic Sacrifice just for shits and giggles. Yeah, and we get to deal 2 more damage to the base. So I mean, Fighters is extremely important against Vader. So the purpose of trying this deck out is I saw that it had done well recently at a League Cup or something, or it went like 4-0 and won the League Cup. And you know, with more control decks coming into the format, I think being as aggressive as possible is gonna be, it's gonna be, you know, this is what happens in a meta, right? Like, control beats Vader, or not Vader, control beats Boba Fett, and Boba Fett has a pretty good matchup against aggro. Like, it's pretty close, you know, depends on the deck for each person and the player, how good they are. But aggro beats control pretty big. So I'm trying to figure out how to play an aggro deck that can beat aggro as well. So I that's where I, you know, again, going back to the 30 HP. And they had the right cards in this matchup to deal with us, like the Viper Probe Droid and the Stormtrooper. They had an open fire, and a Cloud City. Cloud City wouldn't have mattered too much because we had Saboteur. So I mean, if they played it, we would have just heroic sacrificed one of our fighters to still get lethal. So far it's felt very good. Okay, so here we're up against the Luke Green list I did a couple of videos ago, so they have a lot of life gain, so this is going to be tough. So I already feel better that I have 30 HP because they're going to be hard to beat. I would imagine Luke has a fairly good matchup against aggro most of the time, just from testing and just from being on the other side of it. Luke, however, has a harder matchup against Boba Fett. Okay, so let's see. Partisan into Fleet Lieutenant. Let's just keep it. Let's get rid of 1 Medal Ceremony. I really don't want to keep getting rid of Rallying Cry. I want to try it out. I tested it out really early on in Leia for 5 resources, and it felt good, but that's hard to justify. The reason I want to try this card out is just because it's so sweet, but it's got to be in a mono red deck. Okay, so if we're going here, I guess we're getting rid of Spec Soldier. Okay, that's... yeah, I should play Fleet Lieutenant. Okay, that's actually pretty good. So I want to go wide. Basically, you're still playing this card on like turn 4 anyways, which is why it felt fine in Leia, because you're not trying to play this card on turn 2. You know, you want to have a board, so that's why it made sense in Leia. So I still think it makes sense in certain, just depends on the deck list. But the you know, again, the argument is it's just general Dodonna, just better. Yeah, it's +1/+1, but it also is another unit. It's a 4/4 unit, and when you're trying to be aggressive, you just want to have more units on the board. I think Rallying Cry is a really good finisher against aggro. I think it's good if you already established your board, because then you can just give everything +2. Okay, just for the sake of testing, I'm gonna get rid of Medal Ceremony and see how this feels. So first things first, let's go. We're just gonna attack this turn for 3. Or sorry, oops. Need to read the cards, right? Would have been 3. Okay, so there's their lifelink. Got the shield on their lifelinker. Let's just take the initiative. Okay, I mean two more units here feels good. Alright, let's get rid of Fleet Lieutenant. Just so we can try the rallying cry thing. Okay, let's do this again now. Partisan swings in for 3. There we go. I could kill the Marine, but okay, this one gets in for 2. Ouch. Not great. Not great there. That's a very good card for them to just find. So I would imagine this is one of our tougher matchups. So right here, I'm swinging in for 3. But next turn, I am swinging in for a lot of damage with Rallying Cry. So the idea is, though, we want to win next turn. Yeah, we're not attacking into that. We're going to play Rallying Cry first. That's a nice card, too. Gives everything +1. So let's see where we're at. We got to kill this thing first. But with Rallying Cry, we're swinging for 5. So boom, dead. 5, 14. Swinging it for 5, 19. 4, 23. Yeah, we have enough. So we go Rallying Cry, Metal Ceremony here. If we somehow don't live. Okay, so first things first here, into that. Boom. Ouch. Okay, well, let's get in for 5 here before they play something else that we don't want. Alright, we need to kill this first. So what represents the least amount of damage? I guess Cantina. 4 is still pretty good, though. For 5. 4. Win. Yeah. So that's the idea. You go wide and then boom. So I mean, that's the way that feels the best to me. Again, there's an argument for Dodonna. I think Dodonna's better against Control because it's another unit. Versus Rallying Cry, you know, that's 3 cards that are not a unit. So against Control, you want to play as many as units as possible constantly. Yeah, I mean, they didn't get to the Vigilance turn. They played, I mean, they played 2 Sentinels in a row that felt good. They just didn't really gain enough life. They didn't get to the Luke turn. So yeah, I mean, against them, we want to beat them before Luke comes out. Because once Luke comes out, if they're able to get a Sentinel and then shield it, like, that's a lot harder for us. But we do have a lot of Saboteur in this deck too, so. Okay, so this particular version, we're playing against Sabine Green, which is this. If we were playing this deck, we would definitely come across Sabine Green. Like, it's gonna happen. So obviously their advantages are going to be the ECL, the ambush. They're gonna have a lot more Sentinels, the Battlefield Marines, the Echo-based defenders, things like that are very good. Then they're gonna have the Steadfast Battalion that can come in, hit us for 7, overwhelm, hit our face, and take out one of our threats. So again, we want to go as wide as possible with a red 3 or a Rallying Cry. So let's look at our hand. Sabine into Fighters, into Spec Force Soldier, red 3. Feels good. Do we want Sabine or Alliance here? I definitely want For a Cause. It's not a card I want to get rid of. I think Sabine is less good because I know that they have Battlefield Marine and Echo-based defenders. So they can take out my Sabine pretty easily. And they could even ambush it in on turn 1. I really don't want to get rid of this card. So we're going Alliance Fighters. So I guess it's Spec Force Soldier right now. Because I'm not getting rid of For a Cause I believe in, because that's a card that gets us over the top. Definitely not interested in doing my ability against them. Why did they not play a unit last turn? Why does AI do this? Fleet Lieutenant's good or Fighters is good. I like Fighters because of the reach, the extra subtle damage that it gives us. Fleet Lieutenant comes in and gives us 2 extra damage. I think we're just, because we're going the Fighters route, we're going all red, so. First, let's just attack in case they have ambush with something. They're definitely going to have a unit this turn. Fighters also has Saboteur. Okay, there's a red 3. That's a card. Can keep taking the initiative here. 4/4. So you can either play K2SO or go wide. I say go wide. So first things first, let's attack in before they kill our alliance potentially. Okay, they could kill it here, but they chose not to, which is fine. Yep, there's the damage. Okay, there's Sabine, sure. Could kill our Sabine if he wants to, or he could race us, okay. Chose to not do so. Okay, so next turn we have a couple options. We're either going to play red 3, which gives us +6 damage, or for a cause, which is going to give us 3 or 4 damage. So we're swinging it for 4, 7, 10, 13. So we're definitely, again, so you look at the life total. They're doing about the same damage as us. It's not any different. They even have the initiative, but the difference is we have 5 extra HP. So I think either one is good. Either one of these cards is keepable. I'm probably going to give it to something else. That is actually amazing. So it's hard. This is tough. I want to be able to play the Green Squadron too. I think it's red 3 Green Squadron here and save the 4 I cause. As much as I like this card, I think red 3 gives us that bigger damage output. We can save 4 cause for next turn if we somehow don't make it there. Nice. Yeah. Okay, they attacked a unit this time, which is interesting, but I think it's too little too late. Okay, there's that card. That was okay. That's smart. Smart. Makes sense. But I think it's too late. Yeah. I mean, we could kill him with this. Yeah. So Fighters for Freedom continues to be extremely important. I do think he should have taken out Fighters for Freedom over Sabine. Don't think it would have mattered in this matchup. Again, us going wide is what... I mean, they got 20 damage on us, though. And they were about to swing with a red 3 for 5. So they were, I mean, they were getting 25 damage, too. But it doesn't feel the same because our base has more HP. So, again, like, if I'm playing aggro, I want to have a 30 HP base. There's just not much. I mean, these matchups are just like this. Just I punch you in the face, you punch me in the face. I punch you in the face, you punch me in the face. The difference is I'm a little bit beefier and I can survive. So I mean, they did the steadfast battalion thing, but this matchup pretty much went exactly as I thought it would. I think they took a one swing from Sabine to our Sabine, which was, so they would have put 3 more damage on us. And they didn't kill Fighters, but that only saved them 1 life. And would have put less damage on us because Fighters has 1 more HP. So yeah, I mean, it didn't really matter. What won us this game was going wide and then the red 3 at the right time. So red 3 is basically like a pseudo rallying the cry, right? Like it gives us +1 instead of +1 in a unit versus +2. So I mean, I like it so far. I just don't like these decks in general personally. It's just not very much fun to me. It's just like I said, it's just an exchange of punches and then eventually somebody knocks the other one out. Just doesn't take much thought. It's just I go wide, I do this, and you didn't get the card you needed, so I win. Again, that's where my the 30 HP is, because that's my little bit of thought I'm putting into these matchups. I think they're all so similar. It's more about the player and playing the play patterns, and you know, maybe a little bit about deck build. Each of them have their advantages. I haven't even gotten to test out aggression yet to see how that feels. So we'll keep playing and see if I can test that out a little bit. Okay, we're playing against Iden Green here. Same kind of thing. Barrage is our biggest weakness. Be as wide as possible. Hand doesn't look bad. So Green Squadron into Fighters. Fighters has really been... Fighters also negates this ability a little bit. Just get rid of one wing leader and one sacrifice. I think it's a little... Green Squadron's good. They already have the initiative, so I might as well. Okay. Partisan's good, Alliance is good. I feel like they don't have a ton in the air. They do have Avenger, but that's like turn 8. I don't think they're gonna get to that. As long as everything goes right. So it's one of these 3 drops. Which one do I find the least valuable? Because next turn I can play these 2, which feels pretty good. Yeah. Well-timed Power of the Dark Side. Guess that's a place where Wing Leader would have been a better option. I thought about playing it too. I just wanted to get this down. I don't want to miss a turn of damage, do I? Let's just see what happens if I do that. They still have the initiatives. Well, I guess we could have. Okay. Yeah, we could have just claimed it. Alright, so we can lose one of these. Rallying Cry's not bad. So play Partisan. Alright, they're attacking with fighters now. I don't know what that is. Power of the Dark Side, okay. Wait, what just happened? Oh, make an opening. Okay. Alliance. Okay. MG base. Alright, Rallying Cry next turn into a 2-drop feels pretty good. We can almost win, I think, with the Rallying Cry. Sweet. Well, look at that. Make an opening on who? Okay. Well, how about that? Makes it a 2. Attack in with fighters. 5. Oh, ouch. 5. That's so sweet. Partisan swinging it for 5 just feels ridiculous. And then 5. Okay, that's... Yeah, Rallying Cry is good, man. Just playing it at the right time. Okay, we finally got an aggression. Okay, what can we do here? Can ready a unit? Or we could just do these 2, but... Oh, why does that always happen? When you finally get to try a new card out. Not that it matters, we have 4 units on the board. And I don't think there's much they could do about it. So we're either... Draw a card, defeat up to units, ready a unit with 3 power or less, deal 4 damage to a unit. I mean, we could literally kill their Iden immediately. So that's cool. So we just defeated shield and then do 4 damage to it. Does it matter though? I I don't think it does. Okay, for the purpose of testing, we're just gonna play aggression. Just to see. Ouch, okay. Well. We have Saboteur, so that doesn't matter either. I didn't even play the aggression. It's funny. Yeah. I mean that's the ideal play. I couldn't do it. I couldn't make myself do it. Yeah, I mean, so that's us first control. That's how it's gonna look most of the time. Ideally, right? Rallying Cry was nice. It's really nice on turn 4 when you get the Sabine out, so you have an additional unit. It was nice on, well, we played on turn 4, right? And Sabine was on turn 3. So yeah, it's really nice on turn 4 when you already have Sabine out. So you have more targets, so feels good. I think it could be even better if in the next set there's like a 1 resource unit that's even better. And then, you know, Spec Soldier is a very good one. 1 resource unit. Yeah, I'd like to replace this card. The 0 part on defense stinks because it's an easy thing to kill. Like, cause like against control, like their Viper Probe Droids or their Death Storm Troopers can just kill this and not even die. Which is one of the things that's not great about it. I guess, do I have R2? I think I have R2 in here. Do I? If I don't, maybe that needs to be in here. Okay, so I made a couple more changes. Just to the list, like Rallying the Cry, just didn't feel good enough. I think in the second set, if there's more decent 1-drops, like similar to Spec Force Soldier, and even a better 2-drop, that makes Rallying the Cry have more potential. If you have a lot of really stronger units, like I don't know, I think more 1-drops is where it needs to be for that card to be more relevant potentially. So it definitely has potential, but I just think it's not there yet. And if you have a good opponent and you're unable to go wide, then it's like they take out your threats, and then it's like you can't ever get the Rallying the Cry online. So keep his hand. I think we'll go Metal Ceremony, and it's tough. Probably a Guerilla Attack Pod for right now. Sure. Yeah, they already have the initiative, so do the damage thing. I don't think we need 2 of those. I think we need more units. Get that down. Okay. Yep. Go Wing Leader Benthic. Middle Ceremony this turn. Ouch. That was a weird use of that card. There's Boba. I should have waited until deployed that, but who knows, right? Who knows? Make Sabine a little beefier. Yeah, take the upgrade, right? I don't know if that was the right choice. So let's attack Benthic. Give that +2. Let's attack in the air before they attack it. And then we're swinging with Sabine for 6, 8 with Heroic Sacrifice. Let's play for a cause I believe in, see how much damage we get. 3. 3 or less power. I think we just have game with Heroic Sacrifice though, so. Yeah. I mean, again, we're just racing. So, if you like that style of play, like, you know, then aggro might be for you. For me personally, it's not. I just don't find it that interesting. I find it, like, you know, definitely after testing out Sabine Yellow and Sabine Red, like, I just feel like Sabine Green's better. But we'll get more into that here in a minute. But the Boba matchup just, you know, Boba's a really good deck. And if it's a very good player, like, you're probably not going to win. Like, with a Sabine Red deck, that is. Like, a strong player with the strongest deck in the game is going to beat you most of the time. I mean, if AI had played this differently, they would have just taken out, you know, attacked into my Sabine, taken that out, getting that offline. Probably taking out Benthic because it gives any red unit +2 because it's an easy target to kill. They could have taken it out. I mean, they should have taken this out. So, but you know, that's AI for you. Okay, so to kind of wrap things up for this Sabine Red list, I definitely felt like it was viable. I felt like aggression didn't really do that much for me. I think like maybe one game it came into play. So, I mean, if the whole reason to play this deck is to play aggression, I don't know. I think it's like, it's fine, but I just feel like overall, I just feel like I'd much rather have Steadfast Battalion. I mean, General Dodonna and Guerilla Attack Pod are great, but I mean, that's still in the Sabine Green list, so there wasn't much that made this deck any different. If anything, a little bit less weaker because you couldn't ambush in a battalion. I do think, like I said earlier, I think Rally the Cry is going to be a card you need to pay attention to because if we get a lot of good cheap 1 and 2 drops, then you would just make the whole deck 1 and 2 drops. And then you're just gonna top it off with like Red 3 for a cause I believe in and Rally the Cry and maybe like Fleet Lieutenant Wing Leader, but you're gonna cut the K2SO potentially, or that might be like your top end spell. And definitely the Guerilla Attack Pod. It might be that you just keep Dodonna in there because it pumps up your units, and you probably definitely get rid of aggression, and then possibly K2SO. But that again, this depends on what we get. But in a deck like that, you just want everything to be extremely low to the ground so that if you get to those 4 resource turns, like you just either pumping everything up or you're closing the game out. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was cool to have actual gameplay. And, you know, I definitely think that that's a great resource to use in the future. And I will continue to use that to get more of an idea of how these decks perform against real people. Sorry. And we'll kind of go from there. But y'all have a good one. Peace out.